Greetings and welcome to Smartwatch Tics. We're a YouTube channel on the web at smartwatchtics.com. If you're a new viewer, head on over there because we got tons and tons of videos on smartwatches. This is going to be a really special pre-review. I'm not going to review this particular watch for you today in earnest because this is what you call a proof of concept prototype. It doesn't really exist yet. Well, it kind of does. You can order it, and it'll be shipped soon. And I'm going to have a production unit to show you with the unboxing and everything. But today, we're going to lay the foundation of how this watch works and why you might be interested in it. Two things it does, and it really does them well. Communications and location services. This is the kind of watch that is marketed to kids for parents to be able to track them, to talk to them, to video chat with them. It's a type of watch that could be targeted to seniors who are in a care home or trying to live independently at home but need a little bit of assistance and monitoring, and you be able to have them wear this watch and communicate with them basically. And of course, check their location if they tend to wander off somewhere and you want to know where they went. This is also an amazing watch for people who are in a variety of different industries, and we'll talk about that as it goes along. But first I want to jump into the technology. Now, you all know about watches and phones and SIM cards, right? You take a SIM card and you insert it in a slot. The SIM is tied to your carrier, either AT&T or T-Mobile in the US, that uses the GSM network that these watches work on. You put the SIM card in, it has its own phone number, its own texting, its own data plan. You pay your carrier somewhere around $25, $30 a month for unlimited service as an add-on to your existing account. There's all kinds of ways to do it, and that's part of the game. You have to figure out which carrier you want and what data plan you want. When you do it, you put it in, and you've got a phone. You can receive calls, you can text, all that kind of stuff. Well, this one has that. That's one half of the watch. The other half, which is the proof of concept, is completely different. It does not use a SIM. It uses a software virtual SIM. Now, when you have a SIM, that's the piece of code really that identifies you and the carrier and the network and the device tied into the IMEI, which is printed right back there, which is unique for every watch. A complicated thing that lets you make a call or receive a call, and the networks will know how to get it to you. Somebody on Verizon can call you on T-Mobile, and the networks will route it because of those SIMs and IMEIs, right? Well, with a virtual SIM, you're carrier independent, and this doesn't really have a phone number. The phone number is if you put in a real SIM. What this does have is a connection to the internet for IoT, Internet of Things, using VoIP, that's Voice over Internet Protocol. Of course, it could mean video over Internet Protocol as well. Texting over, it's all of that. It's basically everything you would do on a phone with the phone number, you can do instead over the internet using just data. So the VoIP virtual SIM in this thing is for data only. There's no phone number attached to it. But what you can do is connect to a phone app, and that phone app can communicate back and forth with this watch pretty much anywhere over cellular. Now, the fun part comes when you start talking about the carrier. I mean, is it going to be on T-Mobile or AT&T or somebody else? Well, it's on none of those, and it's on all of those because of SIMO. SIMO is a company that has come together to put together an amazing technology that lets this watch in its virtual SIM mode communicate using any cell tower around that's giving it the strongest signal. Let's look at this. There's no need to acquire a physical SIM card to connect to a network. It automatically starts and connects to the best network available in the location of your device. What? Yeah, this means now you can go out wearing this watch and have connectivity whether you're at home, at work, or in transit, going in and out of AT&T zones or T-Mobile zones, it doesn't matter. It'll pick the strongest tower near you and use that carrier to communicate. How does it do it? Very, very ingenious. It uses signal scan. It's a patented technology, and this is the first watch and phone, basically, that it's being used in. And this is proof of concept we're testing out here in the United States to make sure it's working right. What it does is it scans the network, and it checks the available mobile towers around you. All of them. Looks for them. It can sense the signals. Then in the background, it runs a speed test to measure the network performance of each of those towers. It picks out the best one, and it switched the device to that network. Now, because it's a virtual SIM, it can say, I'm an AT&T, I'm a T-Mobile, or I'm on that network. And so you might end up being able to communicate to the phone app from this for a parent, let's say, who is at home in their Wi-Fi zone. As long as they're on the network from the phone anywhere, either in the car on their cell Verizon network or at home in their Wi-Fi zone, whatever they are, they'll be able to connect back and forth with this watch after signal scan connects the watch to the closest, most powerful network, no matter which carrier owns it and is using it. Brilliant, brilliant. How does that come about? Through Skyroam. Now, I'm going to leave this up here for you to freeze frame and read, but it gives you the backstory, basically, of how Skyroam saw this problem and addressed it by putting together this seamless SaaS, that means Software as a Service, data connectivity experience. Now think for a minute when you used to own CDs. I know, some of you don't even know what they are. But back for a lot of us, we had LPs, CDs, cassette tapes, some even had 8-tracks. They were a physical, tangible thing. And then we got to Software as a Service in terms of streaming. Now, you just have a Apple Music account or a Google Music account or Spotify or, well, anyway, you know what I mean. All of them that you can tie into and have access to millions of songs that are a software as a service. You want to play one, you ask for it, and you play it, and you pay a flat fee no matter how many songs you listen to. In a crazy kind of way, that's what we're getting to here. We're getting away from you having to buy a SIM with a data plan on it and pay monthly for 250 megabytes or half a gigabyte or 3 gigabytes, and you don't know how much you're going to use, and you throw the rest away every month, right? No need for that. Now we've got unlimited data connectivity because you use it when you need it as a software as a service. Making sense to you? Good. So, what is this thing? Well, this is the first product to hit the market because a logical, absolute perfect hand-in-glove fit is for a parent to keep track of a child. This is being put together and launched as a watch for kids. I'm not reviewing it for that, and I'm going to tell you it is way beyond that. This is the next generation. This is not just the Disney Channel. This is everything that anybody could want in terms of streaming video in another crazy kind of analogy. With this watch, and it comes in a nice black, like that one, that, it doesn't look like a kid's watch. Of course, you can get it fancy purple with little chiclet things, all different ways of ordering it. But the key thing here, you seeing it down here? It's got this software SIM and the software service, the virtual data service on any carrier from the strongest tower that's around when it connects. It's going to give you that plan bundled with the watch for 3 years. For 3 years, you're going to get video chat capability, audio, walkie-talkie kind of thing, phone calling, back and forth. Now, not to any phone number. Remember, it doesn't have its own phone number with a virtual SIM, but it does have a connection from the watch to a phone app, and in that app you can make a phone call, just like you would with Hangouts or one of the other type of things. Duo, Google's Duo video chat thing from phone to phone. Similar kind of concept, but uniquely identified in a way that the device that's making the call that roams is going to jump automatically from tower to tower. That's the big innovation here in the proof of concept. So the Omate O6L Pro is the device that's going to do this. And this is what it basically looks like. It's a watch. It's got a camera on the front to do video calling and to take pictures that you can share in the text messaging. The small, yeah, it's not here for fashion, folks. It's here for capabilities. It's got a small screen, but big enough that you can read it and use it for video chatting. Really loud speaker. They've done a great job on improving the speaker. It sounds like a phone's speaker in speakerphone mode. No longer like you have to stick it to your ear. Good and loud. Kids, seniors will hear it. Everybody will. Removable bands if you want to take them off and change them. It uses the 4G network we talked about, both with the SIM and with the virtual connectivity. It also has a unique way of tying into Wi-Fi. So when the kid, the parent, the worker is at his desk, whatever, when they're in a Wi-Fi zone, you can set it up to push the Wi-Fi connectivity to the watch. It'll automatically connect to Wi-Fi and be way faster and less battery usage and not tie up the cell towers to do all the things that you can do when you're out and about, but it'll do it over Wi-Fi. Yep, it's got GPS in it too. Full location services. That's the second half of all of this. Not only do you have the communication, but from the app, you can trigger or set it to automatically every 5 minutes trigger a ping to say, where are you? And the watch, using that same kind of technology, is going to wake up, look at cell towers and go, oh, I'm in Nebraska. I'm in this particular town. I'm on this particular street from the tower. If you're in a Wi-Fi zone, it'll go even closer. It'll figure out, of course, all of the Wi-Fi information is tracked, so it'll nail it down to what house you're in, which Wi-Fi actual router are you connected to, and show you on the Google Maps where you are. Or it'll go pure GPS. It'll turn it on, it'll wake it up, it'll locate your coordinates from GPS and show on the map exactly where it is. Now, it's not going to be tracking it in motion. If it's in the car driving somewhere, you're not going to see the dot moving down the road. It's a one-time ping kind of thing, like finding your phone if it's lost, and you go through and, ping it and say, oh, yeah, I left it at work, that kind of thing. But it will give you the location data. And in a moment, I'm going to show you something where you're really going to want that location data. Okay, that proximity sensor is a thing under development now, so that if this is with a child or a senior or someone that you need to know that they've got it with them, if they take it off, and I believe that is either the sensor back here, or that's going to be for future heart rate monitoring. It could be either. Like I say, it's proof of concept now. It's a version 1.0, not even 0.99 or something. But lots of possibilities to come on this. So that proximity sensor would notify automatically if you set it up that way in the app if the watch has been taken off. Great for the concept of resort bubbles or people that are confined because of COVID and need to quarantine at a location. Gosh, all kinds of great uses for this. And then it's got a noise cancellation microphone that works really well so that you don't have, background or feedback or any of that stuff. And that covers it all. The app is available from the Apple Store or Google Play. It's, of course, called OMATE KID because it's going to be marketed for kids, but it's not. It's OMATE configuration app, and it does a great job for it. Let's play with it a little bit. I know you've been wanting to see it in action. Again, this is not a review, but just a proof of concept. So I'm going to jump all around. I'll do the full review later when we get the final product in, but for now, let's play. Now, you can download this already from the Google Play Store or from Apple and just kind of start checking it out. It's called OMATE KID, and this is the Google Play Store right now. I got the link in the show notes. You can click to go right over there or just, go and search on it. when you go through here, it gives you a look. Now, I'm not going to be able to show you all of these pages, primarily because it nails your location, and I'm keeping my place private. So you're going to see this thing with a card over it here, so you'll know that there's a big map behind here. This is in Chinese still. They haven't even fully converted it over yet. You're going to have buttons, and we will go through those buttons. You'll be able to have a chat screen back and forth that includes audio snippets, so it can work like a walkie-talkie. When you both are in the text mode, you can do sound clips back and forth. 10-4, big buddy. You can go in here and set up all the things like Wi-Fi I was talking about. We'll go through all of this in detail in the future. Right now, just showing you what you've got. And you can deactivate all these different things in the watch if you want to. If you don't want it to be doing video calling, if you don't want it to do voice calling, if you only want messaging, and so forth. You can even restrict it so it cannot be turned off. Proximity sensor and the inability to turn the watch off means it's going to constantly be on, and nobody can mess with it if it's not there. You know, it's great. It's great. You can do a remote restart if you need to, straight from the app and everything. Now, this type stuff is for the administrator, and only the first person to connect to the watch sees this as an administrator to take control. But it's that administrator that can also set up other users, and you can have up to 50 other people working with this app. I'm going to put my little cover on here. With this app in there, I called the kid Turtle. You put a little picture with it. You have to do that. Give it a picture and a name before you can even get into it. When you're setting it up, you'll see the setup in a future video. And then you're there. And like I said, you can have up to 50 other people, aunties, uncles. If you're a dispatcher, you can have your distribution crew, each by name. You can be the central coordinator of all of that. Yeah, all kinds of things. What we've got are video calls and voice messages, and activity tracking, which when you come in here shows you how many steps you walked today. That's for my month, and the last 7 days are shown there. So it does have a pedometer in it, but as far as we know, it doesn't have the heart rate sensor in it yet. Family members, this is where you can set up different users who will have the app that can talk to the watch encrypted, and you control it, or you can add watches. So if it's going to be you and your spouse with 3 kids, you can add the watch for the 3 kids separately on here too. So lots of flexibility both ways. Multiple users, 1 watch, multiple watches, 1 user, multiple and multiple, all combinations. Let's do a video call. I am going to initiate from here a call. There I am. Here's the watch. Now, this watch is not on Wi-Fi. This is pure cellular coming in here. You see me in there. I'm going to press the button, and here we go. Now, we might get some audio feedback, and that's okay. Move this away. Uh-oh, it's looking at the ceiling. I'll let it look at my backside. All right, it's having trouble acquiring right here. Let me bring it back over here. If I'm quiet, it's okay. This is me here. Once it settles down and isn't moving, it's okay. And this, look on the watch. Because the phone is on Wi-Fi, look at how responsive the watch is on the video call. It is a little bit of a delay here. But if I had, oh, by the way, you see the countdown here? You can do a call for up to 3 minutes. We'll talk a little bit about that later on, too. Each call can last only 3 minutes. There, I hung up. You get the idea, though. If the watch were on Wi-Fi, you'd see the same level of responsivity. And if the parent were on Wi-Fi and the child were on Wi-Fi, man, there's just like, you're right there, you know. It's like the Zoom things on steroids. You got good video connectivity. A voice call is going to operate the same way with the microphone and speaker, just no picture. There's no video on there. And then voice message. Here's a few tests that I've been doing with it already, and actually these pertain to the SOS Emergency system, and I've deleted out the location data on here, but I'm going to show you some of that here in a moment. Let's talk for a second. I'm on the app. I'm connected, of course, to the child. I can bring up a keyboard, and I can type whatever I want to, and I can send that on the watch when it's in its zone, no matter which tower it's coming from. Press the black button, slide over here to the text, and it'll go in here. And I have a choice of looking at the text from the app or from the SMS text messaging if you put the SIM card in. So you got the two different networks. Then you got the list of people, and you can have multiple different text streams going on with the different people. I come in here to myself, Smartwatch Ticks, and there's the text I just sent. Now, I cannot reply with text. I can reply with an emoji, or I can reply with a voice feedback. There's the emoji that just came in, and there it is appearing here on the watch. Or I can take a picture. I can grab this thing. I can look at it. I can smile. I can take a picture. I can choose to accept it or not. I'm going to accept it, and it shows it here. It's going to pop up over here. We're on cellular now. This is not on Wi-Fi. This is on Wi-Fi, but this is on cellular, and it's fairly decent quality. Something like 2 megapixel, but definitely good enough to work with. And then, of course, you can go into the walkie-talkie mode, which is probably the most powerful feature on this watch. I can press and hold the microphone. Well, I press it to here, and then I press and hold it. This is the phone now talking to the watch, and I believe you can pretty much do unlimited. It shows it here, and it comes in here. This is the phone now talking to the watch. You hear how nice and loud that is? Okay, I got you. I'm replying to you now from the watch to the phone. So you have your conversation going, and then you can play it back here. Do I have the volume down? Phone. All right. Sorry, I had the volume down. That's why the feedback wasn't so bad earlier. Let's try that again. Okay, I got you. I'm replying to you now from the watch to the phone. And, of course, I got my emojis here. They're a limited set of emojis. You don't have a whole lot. It's not robust. It's meant for short burst communications, walkie-talkie style, 3-minute phone call, 3-minute video call. Now that 3-minute limitation, it's part of how they were able to give you the data plan for 3 years, I guess. You get 3 minutes. After that, it hangs up. You have to wait 10 minutes before you can make another video call. Now they claim it's the same for voice calls, but I haven't experienced that. When I place a 3-minute voice call, it hangs up, but I can call right back and get another 3 minutes. What they do say in the literature, though, is if you run out of your voice calling or phone calling, that's a back button here, time in the 3 minutes, and you got to wait 10 minutes, you can always come here into the chat and continue talking or texting from the phone to the watch, if you need to still be in communication beyond the 3 minutes. Okay, that's kind of an overview of how this is working. From the watch now, you could do the same thing. I can go in here. I'm back into either SMS texting or the app testing. That's a back button. I can come here. I can initiate the video call from the watch to the phone. Same process. This will ring. It'll light up. You hit the answer button. You got the conversation. This is the voice phone call. And again, they'll show you the 3-minute countdown on both devices. This is your step count information. I haven't used it. Got 0 steps, but it's made for kids. It shows you that, and it'll show you your pedometer step count. Great for parents who want to encourage kids who are on devices too much to actually get out and walk. Get some steps in. And then you've got your overall system stuff in here. We'll go into that when we do the full review. The main thing is coming back here now. Once again, this is a proof of concept watch that does the standard traditional SIM calling and texting with a commercial SIM from a carrier that you put a data plan on and you pay monthly $20 or more probably to add the second line. Or you can use this whole new virtual SIM thing that automatically connects to the strongest cell tower around and lets you come in here and do voice, video, and texting and SOS Emergency. Press and hold. Oh, let's do that again. It's going to show my location information. Doggone it. I'm going to press and hold. Give it 3 seconds. It vibrated. It says SOS. It's giving a countdown. That's coming from the phone, folks. It jumped. You saw that? It gives me the location right underneath here. It's still recording a 30-second clip. Whatever sounds it hears from the watch are being recorded. If the child's in trouble, if the grandparent fell, if the line worker fell off of the truck, if anybody can speak, if any sounds are present, they'll be recorded and be recorded right to there. This stops. It transmits it on whichever tower it connects to. You heard that. It just put it on here. Let's listen to it. There was an entry right above here in big red, showed exactly my location. If I touched it, it would have brought up the Google map, showed me exactly where I am. This is the 30-second clip.
3 seconds, it vibrated. It says SOS. It's giving a countdown. That's coming from the phone, folks. It jumped. You saw that? It gives me the location right underneath here. It's still recording a 30-second clip.
Okay, you get the idea? That's all in the text stream. Just phenomenal technology, really is. You can set up Wi-Fi. You can set class mode where the watch won't work except for the SOS button. You can create safe zones. Future, when this is all hashed out and working, again, proof of concept we've got here. This isn't working right yet, but you'll be able to do geofencing. You can have history of the tracking. You can do admin controls and other options. All this is in the app. Check this out. I've left it on the screen. Right now, Uncle Tix is in an emergency alert situation. Yeah, and it just got a push to this device. There is no SIM card in here, folks. None. I am not on a network. I'm getting the push because of that virtual SIM technology constantly connecting to the most powerful tower near me. If I were out of AT&T range with my AT&T SIM, I would not get that emergency push. But if I'm T-Mobile, I would. Well, it's coming in because of whichever network it chose. Probably T-Mobile right here. So I get that emergency connection. That is cool. Here's another emergency alert notice. They just stack up. So if you don't get it right away, when you turn the watch on, it's there because it's interrogating and that push is coming. And the system is looking for an okay response to stop vibrating and getting your attention. That alone is powerful to have this thing with you somehow, I don't know, in a box, on your arm, in your purse, in your back pocket, just for emergency alerts or any of the kind of pushes that could come to it. So there it is, the Omate O6L Pro concept watch with a whole new way of handling communications. So what's it going to take to get you into one of these? About $249. Whoa! Mr. Tix, wait a minute. You $250 for this little watch? Well, wait a minute. Think about this. You've got a 36-month data plan, right? Unlimited video, voice, texting, all of that stuff built into the watch, and you can add a SIM card to the side. $250, that's a $249 divided by 36. Pretty much $7 a month for the data plan with the watch for free. One way of looking at it. Heck, if you wanted to put the SIM card in there, $25 to $35 a month for the SIM. Let's say you could get it as little as 20 times 36. That's extra $720. So the data plan's a bit expensive for the watch, but the technology to switch automatically to the strongest cell tower and switch between carriers is part of the whole thing. All right. $250 is still too high. Well, guess what? They gave me a discount code. TIX40. TIX40 takes your $249 package, which is the O6L Pro Black with nano blocks and an extra band and all that stuff, knocks $100 off of it. 40% off of that brings it down to $150 basically, $149. So for $149 you can get this watch with the 36-month data plan free, no additional charges at all. Add a SIM if you want to, that's on you. But you don't need to. As you saw, we can do everything between the app and the watch. Still a little too much? They got a special reduced version of this. If you don't need the video calling and the audio calling, if you can work with that text messaging where you can put in audio clips and make it work kind of like a walkie-talkie, and do the rest of the texting part and still have the location services, the Lite now is only $189. And again, 40% off is $76 for $113. $113. You've got a communications watch that can do basic texting and location services and talk back and forth to your child or your grandparent or whoever you have with the watch, basically through the texting program. Okay? Those are your options right now. Link in the show notes will take you over. Apply the coupon TIX40 in either one of those, and you'll be able to pick it up at the discount. So as I mentioned before, we will do the full-on review of this, the unboxing, everything coming up. Might be a little while because they're still ironing out some bugs, but just know it's going to be able to do the texting, video calling, regular calling, fitness tracking, settings, and a variety of different watch faces. SIM card capable, lightweight, pretty waterproof, I would say. It's IP68, I believe, IP67 rated. Nice little package, and it's on a limited special right now. So I'm not sure what's going to happen in the future for price or combination with it, but it is shipping right now with the 36-month data plan included. You just simply turn the watch on and wait for a while in your cell zone for it to settle down after doing all those speed tests and acquiring the strongest tower near you. And then when it's ready, it's going to give you the QR code you scan with the app. We'll show you all that in the review, and you're on. You're on. No additional costs and no necessary SIM to add to it to get the basic special communications. You've been watching Smartwatch Ticks, and we really appreciate your subscription here. If you like what you're seeing, just head over to smartwatchticks.com. You can go right in and subscribe there and check out all of our other videos as well. And if you click that little bell, you'll get notified when we have new reviews, and you can just monitor for this one so you can watch the whole thing from beginning to end. We'll see you again soon, gang.